Hey loves, and welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, welcome. My name is Myra, and in today's video I'm going to be sculpting some acrylic nails, and I absolutely love sculpting. I definitely need to do more videos of them here on my YouTube channel, but if you've been following me for a while on my Instagram, then you have seen me post some results of acrylic application or sculpted acrylic application. And so I decided to do an in-depth one today. I really wanted it to be a full set. So I did show you the acrylic application, and then after what I do, filing and such, but I did not have time to do a finished result, the actual result of a nail. So it's basically just acrylic application and sculpted nails. So the first thing that I do is I grab my form. The ones that I have been absolutely loving lately are my not polished ones. They are amazing. They're super sturdy, really sticky, and I love how they hold up. They're not super flimsy and thin like others I have used. These are just super helpful, especially if you're starting off, because when I started off, I started using some from Amazon. They were super thin. I would be able to move it. Every time I applied acrylic, sometimes it would get stuck from underneath the sticky part, and it would be a whole mess. So you need something that's really thick, really sturdy. I absolutely love the color, so that's a plus, and I love the length because it makes for really long nails. I'm also using this gray acrylic from Not Polish along with their acrylic brush and the 𝘗𝘪𝘆 monomer. Okay, so the first bead that I place is, I'm going to be talking as if the practice hand were a real hand, because I usually always say quote unquote because it's a practice hand, but I'm going to be pretending, let's pretend like it's a real human hand. So the first thing I do is I stick the bottom part of the form together, and then I slide it into underneath your nail, and I close it up. I kind of seal it from the bottom. Make sure that it's tucked in there, that it's not going to come off, and that it's nice and sturdy. And then I choose the length that I want to do them in. I choose the number that I want to stop at. I usually stop at a 7. And then I apply my first bead to make sure that I drag it down to my desired length. As you know, I don't like to start from the top to the bottom. I like to start from the bottom and work my way to the top, closest to the cuticle area last. So I apply a pretty decent sized bead, and like I said, I drag it down and shape it to my desired length. You also have to choose what shape you want, whether you want it square, coffin, tapered square, stiletto, almond, whatever you choose to do. You have to know what it is, because if you just always do square and then your client wants stiletto, you're gonna have to do a lot of filing, and that's unnecessary. So just know what shape you want to do before you even get started. When I had clients and I would sculpt, I would always make sure to ask them beforehand what shape they want, and I had a little thing on the side of my desk where it would show you what my shapes looked like. So what was tapered square, what was square, what, so then yeah, I'm working my way up now. Now, on a practice hand, it is a little bit different. Honestly, on a human hand, it's so much easier, because where the practice hand's nail, there's a little bit of an indent sometimes between the form and that. So when you have a client, you basically put it to your client's nail. If their nail may be growing downwards, it may be growing, out, whatever it may be, you have to cater to the shape of their nail. Not every person is going to be the same. So just keep an eye out for that as well. And then I forgot, I was going to mention something too. Oh yeah, so if you ever want to learn sculpted nails, I definitely recommend YouTube. I'm going to start doing a lot more videos and tutorials in depth on how to do them. But another thing, and something that I did right after I got my license, I actually took a course sculpted nails course because it was always something that really intrigued me. It was something really interesting that I always like to watch, not only on YouTube, but like on Instagram. I love the final result of them. We learned a little bit of sculpted nails in cosmetology school. We didn't use any tips, but it was so minimal that, and we used like those flimsy Amazon ones, that it was like, basically I learned nothing, you know, from doing sculpted nails in school. But it was like a little bit that I learned, and I wanted to keep that knowledge going and actually get a full-on, hands-on sculpted nail course. And there was actually one kind of by where I was living, and it was like a full day from like early until the afternoon, and it was with someone that worked with like a really big company, and I had to do it. So I went. They provided like acrylic, I think they have like forms. They gave you like a little baggie full of products, and all you had to take was like your e-file. And so I was super excited, and I learned so much. That's something I definitely recommend. Even if you have your license, even if you learned about it in school, I always recommend you expanding your knowledge with all these courses that are out there. There's drawing courses, sculpted nails, acrylic nails. Like, there's courses for basically everything that has to do with nails. So I definitely recommend it. Even if you're like, oh, I already have my license, I don't need that. It honestly helps you out so much, and you learn a lot of new things that you probably wouldn't have learned otherwise. And that experience for me was awesome. After that, I went home, I sculpted my nails, I kept practicing sculpted nails, and now I absolutely love to do them. They've gotten so much easier for me. In the beginning, I did struggle a little bit. I would go through like 5 forms to do one nail because I would pinch it too hard, or things like that. But now I've gotten the hang of it, and I absolutely love doing sculpted nails. It is super satisfying to me. And the more you practice, the better you get at it. There's even like courses online now, or like one-on-one courses online where you don't have to physically go into this. I did this course, it was way before the pandemic, and it was a class of like 10 to 12 girls. And, you get to meet all these amazing people that are also in the same industry as you. And it's just really a cool experience. It's only one day. There's other courses that are a few days, 2 days, but you get to choose that. And that is something that to take away from this video is to keep going with your education when it comes to nails. There's a lot of new things coming out, and, there's courses out there for you. So, yes, I'm on the last nail, and you also have to be pretty good with your bead pickup, because when it comes to doing sculpted nails, it's a little different than when using tips. When using tips, I like to use a little bit of a wetter bead, because you can wipe that off, you can add more because it's on a nail tip. But I like to keep my acrylic application on nail forms as clean as possible, and so I like to keep my beads on the drier side. But not too dry, because you obviously want to drag it down to the length. But I do like to keep them on the drier side than I would if I were to use nail tips. Maybe one day I'll do like a ratio video on the difference of nail tips and the difference with nail forms. Because for me, I do different ratios of monomer to powder ratios. And that's something that's like super important when it comes to doing your nails. So anyway, now I am done with the acrylic application, and we're gonna go in with the hand filing. I always do the hand filing first. That's something that I kind of like have always done. I'm not I wouldn't say there's like a specific way you should do like an e-file first or a hand file, but I like to do the e-file first just to make sure that the sides are crisp, and then I can go in with my e-file. I'm using the 𝘂𝘪𝘗 e-file along with the Crafts by 9 drill guard, the 𝘂𝘪𝘗 mandrel bit, and the pink sanding bands are on my Amazon storefront, link down below. And then I'm just like buffing it using a buffer block from 𝘂𝘪𝘗, and then I'm applying my swipe, and I'm all ready for the gel application or the top coat application, depending on what you're going to do. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye guys!